All right, everybody, welcome to Monday Leadership Call. First call of the year. 2020 is upon us, and I hope you've had a wonderful 6 days already. I know that some of us kind of needed a little break from 2019, and Myra and I decided over a week ago that we should escape the cold. And here we are in Cancun, Mexico. Not very planned, to be honest with you. It was a spontaneous, spur of the moment decision to come here, but nonetheless, it's been an amazing last few days. And I really, one of the things that has been great about it is that it has allowed us some time to kind of get out of our normal routine and just reflect and relax and have time with the kids. Isaac joined us for a couple days as well, and amazingly enough, he has not been with us to an all-inclusive resort before. So yeah, he wasn't able the last few times, and I mean, he was here only for 3 days, and he just absolutely loved it.
They're going to leave money on him.
Hard to go back, right?
Yeah.
It was hard to go back for him. And hey, the thing I like the most about those experiences for him and for kids is that they start thinking just about the things they want to do in the future, right? And the things they want to enjoy, and some of the things that they would like to have when they grow up. And hopefully, selfishly, I think that I would love for my children to be business owners, entrepreneurs, or at least give them that example, just like my parents gave me the example of being an entrepreneur. And that has really changed my life in so many ways, because the school system, I think, doesn't really prepare you for life in this day and age. It's really hard, even as adults, to have to catch up. I think a lot of you guys here, me included, feel like I have to catch up with technology many times, because every 5 minutes it seems like there's a new social media platform. Every 5 minutes there's some new apps out there. Every 5 minutes there is new technology that you have to learn. But what I really realized in thinking about this in the last few days is like, many people feel overwhelmed by this, when in reality we should really think about it as, all these tools, applications, things that are coming our way are meant to connect us in a different way. And at the end of the day, one of the things that the internet has done for us is just as simplified the way that we connect with people, the way that we communicate with people, and the way that we receive information, right? Now, information is on demand. Before, information was given to you and you had no control. Basically, you had a basic set of TV channels and you could flip through them, of course, with your remote, but that was it. That was the content. Now, at your fingertips, you can type on a search engine, on a YouTube, on a Facebook, on any other social media platform, what you want to look for, and the system gives it to you, right? The internet gives it to you, and it starts understanding what your preferences and likes are. So it's a self-selecting environment where you're basically telling technology what you like, what you don't like, what you prefer, and what would you like to buy. And it's interesting because this is how really now understand who you are in many ways. I mean, in every aspect, they know exactly what to show you. And don't be surprised, in just a few years, as voice recognition devices like Alexa, like Google Voice, like Siri are more prevalent, you will be talking to your device and telling that device exactly what you want. You will be telling them how to set up your schedule, your alarms, your food. You'll tell probably Siri, Google, or Alexa, hey, I need to buy some more milk this week. Make sure that it's ready for me for pickup at the store. You're gonna almost start, this sounds creepy, guys, but you're almost gonna start having like real-time conversations with this AI technology assistants that over time will get smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. Because just think about it. Did you ever think 10, 15 years ago that you would be talking to a speaker and telling them, hey, Siri, what's the time or what's the weather tomorrow? Or, hey, Siri, can you turn on the lights at my house, right? I forgot to turn them on. Or can you turn on the alarm? Or can you check in the fridge if I still have milk because I'm at the grocery store and I don't remember? And all these devices will be interconnected with each other, right? So thinking about this really helps me kind of understand that at the end of the day, we are in an environment, and business is going to become more and more about people, right? People have always been the common denominator of business, no matter what industry, more so in our industry like network marketing, where the skills that are required truly boil down to people skills. And people skills are the skills that you as a business person, as an entrepreneur, want to develop, right? One of the things that I'm most impressed about this trip, guys, being here in Cancun, and if you ever have a chance to come to Mexico to an all-inclusive resort, one of the things that you'll notice is that the service is just above and beyond, right? People are friendly, they smile to you, bartenders, waiters, people in the lobby, bellboys, and every person here is very, very focused on making sure customers are happy, right? They have good attitudes, they have a smile on their face. With Myra, we were discussing this yesterday over dinner, and we would just see our waiters and the service people, and they're always like hustling, right? They're running around, they're wanting to serve you quick, they want you to be happy, and trust me, some people would think, oh, it's because of the tips, but no. I mean, it's almost beyond that. It's almost like there's a culture here in Mexico, in the resort areas, that it is so prevalent that they all understand that tourism in these areas is the lifeblood of their economy, right? Is the lifeblood of what they do. So they all want to make sure that you have a good experience. They all want to make sure that you're taken care of. They all want to make sure that you have a good time in any way, shape, or form. So, that to me teaches me a big lesson, which is that many times we have lost some of that service mentality of making sure to find out what people want. And those people skills that are required to succeed in business in this day and age, as technology almost seems like it wants to replace human beings, but in reality that will never happen. But you being the differentiator of your business really is what will make your business grow and succeed. And how do you do that, right? And the question becomes, how do you develop those skills so that you can have an edge? Because at the end of the day, in long term, people are going to be around not so much a specific business, although we have the best vehicle in the industry, but they're going to want to be around you, around a person that they don't necessarily are looking to buy a product, but they want to be around somebody that makes them feel appreciated, that makes them feel like they're important, that makes them feel like that you are a light in a world where maybe there's a lot of negative news, there's a lot of negative stuff. So this is really so very important, and you see it a lot, right? There's a lot of people on vacation here. Some of them you can tell they're happy. Some of them you can tell even though they're on vacation, they don't smile much. It doesn't seem like they've left their worries at home or their struggles at home. They've carried them with them. So my guess is that their experience is not going to be the same as somebody that comes in here with gratitude, right? And finds out that, oh, wow, it's like the little things is what matters. So being in that position where you have in 2020 a choice, and you have really a decision of what to build upon, I would recommend you one thing, and it's build upon those basic human people skills so that you can learn and be truly interested about what people are all about so that you can start relating to them, right? Leanne shared a video with us today about handling objections by Eric Ward, and it was very good because it really went to the fact of, you know, you don't want to be that person that just spams people with invitations to a business, right? You don't want to be that person that just today is more than ever. It's very easy to do that, but the more people do that, the less it will work. And those are one of the things that you want to be very aware of. That as you build your business, no matter how long you've been in Trunited or you just started Trunited yesterday, the key to this whole thing is building those long-term relationships that you can have a foundational business that will grow year after year after year. And you, Ron, know this more than everyone because you've built a business over a long period of time where, you know, there's a fundamental, it was fundamental that you would have those relationships with people, right? And not just trying to sell people and stuff.
No, I mean, to me, you really, this kind of business just lends itself to what I call falling in love with people. You know, you're going to be on a journey together. If you really understand, you want a long-term business, so you want long-term relationships. And so we're not just trying to funnel people through a system, see who sticks. No, we're really trying to partner with people that, gosh, we want to spend the rest of our lives with. You know, we want to spend the rest of our lives with somebody that we're going to be on this amazing journey with together, traveling all over the world together. And I mean, what an amazing way to go through life. And so if we're out there truly trying to find those people that we identify with, we have some commonality, you know, there's some interest together. For me personally, above and beyond just the money-making aspect, you know, and truly trying to see how you can help someone. I mean, gosh, the world is your oyster if you help enough people get where they want to go. And if we just keep it that simple and enjoy our out and about as we're just out there, we're not trying to scare people. You know, in a shopping center or something like this, we're trying to have, you know, simply good conversations, and hopefully we both leave with smiles, and maybe you developed a contact right then, maybe it didn't go anywhere. But if you're just trying to find people that you can take on an amazing journey with you, and in your heart of hearts, you believe you can help them, either with time or money, or in most cases, people need both. The wealthier somebody is, the less time they have. So just because somebody you know may be very, very successful, don't underestimate the power of giving them time back and enabling them to free up their life, because that's something they can't even comprehend. And a question just kind of wrapping up with this, Carlos, I'd like to ask you a little bit more successful is, have you ever thought of what it might be like if you were able to replace this income and have the time freedom to enjoy it? And,
Exactly.
and it's interesting to see the look on their face. It's like, it's all of a sudden the computer just locked up. It's just like, what does that look like? They really can't relate. So no matter where people are in life, everybody needs what Trunited can bring to the table for them. And guys, we just love and appreciate you all. It's going to be an amazing 2020. If we can get Carlos back from Mexico, that is. we need to do a group first of the year trip next year. Wouldn't that be awesome?
No, man. Look,
Oh,
we
amazing.
have to. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no if. We really have to. Myra and I have talked about this at length during this trip, and it's just it changes you. It changes your perspective on vacation travel. You know, we've been to a lot of places, guys. We've been to a lot of places, but every time and lately when we come to Mexico and you just the service, the food, the location, the ocean, the weather. I mean, it just checks every single box, and we feel like, man, we should have done this for double the time, right? Usually when we're going to Europe or we're going to other places and we're like, okay, 5 days, 7 days, that's enough. Let's go home, right? Here, I mean, not only the kids want to stay here forever, right? Because they can have ice cream at any time of the day, but they also the pool, the ocean, and everything. But it's for us, you know. It's like one of those things where don't be surprised if in the future we're living in a warm tropical location for 3-4 months of the year and the rest back home, right? That's kind of the lifestyle we're gravitating to, because as you get to a point, and this is where really I want to really hone in. If you listen to one thing about tonight's phone call, and it's, look, I really wish for you to at some point in your life be able to design it in such a way that you have the choice to do whatever you want whenever you want. That to me is the ultimate measure of happiness, because it allows you to truly do whatever you love to do at any given point in time. And TrueNight is merely a vehicle to get you to that place where you can just look at Marthy, Ron, and say, hey, Marthy, let's go to Mexico tomorrow, right? Let's go to Europe next week. Let's go and just do whatever we want, whenever we want, with the people we love, with the people we're close to, with those that eventually would become friendships for life. You know, that's really the thing, that as you're building a legacy generational income business like TrueNighted, eventually you'll make friends along the way that you want to go travel with, you want to go enjoy with, you want to go see the world with. And that to me is really, fires me up so much to be able to bring many of you along the ride for this, and for you to enjoy the time that you have left, because, what is life if not to enjoy it to the fullest?
Yes.
So I've added a few of you leaders to the Zoom. Ron, I would like to make you the host for the call tonight. Myra just texted me that the table that we were waiting for like 45 minutes has already been assigned to us at the restaurant. So I'm gonna go head down and enjoy dinner with my bride and the kiddos, but not before telling you guys that, my heart is full. My heart is bursting at the seams to go make 2020 the biggest year that we've ever had, not only in TrueNighted, but in our lives. Because when you're excited and fired up about your life and about what you already see ahead of you in your mind, and you can almost touch it and feel it, and it is just, something so amazingly beautiful that you have no choice but to share it, right? It just explodes out of you. So I'm gonna make you a host, Ron. You should be able to, at this point, a lot of the leaders already have ability to unmute the mic. and that way when I leave the meeting, this thing won't shut off. But feel free, guys, to unmute your mics and go for it. And for me, guys, I'm gonna say good night. I wanted to time this so that I love you too, guys. I wanted to time this so that I can go to dinner before, but there's a lot of people in the place, so it didn't work out that way. But I wanted to make sure you guys know I love you and connect here, and that we're gonna make this the best year ever, guys. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your time, brother.
Enjoy.
Love you.
Appreciate you.
I love to Myra and the kids.
Will do. Thank you.
All right. Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year, Jay.
So good to see all the beautiful smiling faces. I'm gonna guess that we are all
Hey, James, before I leave,
yes.
just so you know, I'm gonna shut down my audio,
Okay.
and I'm gonna mute my mic, because if I shut this down, the recording will stop.
Okay.
So just I'm here in spirit. Okay, guys.
You
Love
got
you.
it. We love you, brother.
Awesome.
I was just gonna say, at least the faces that I'm seeing, everyone looks rejuvenated, rested up, geared up, fired up, and it's go time. And you know, I just can't help but believe that this is our opportunity. What better time than right now to set the tone, right? To set the course for whatever it is that you desire in 2020. And be specific, be intentional with what you are after in your business with Trunited. We've had more than enough time to rehearse, to practice, to do whatever we've been doing up to this point. And I believe this year is a year of growth. This year is a year of increase. 2020 is vision. That's what 2020 is. Casting vision, goal setting, dreaming together, and then you know what? Execute. We were together, a few of us who are building together, and last night, Rich Linehan just shared what I thought, while he may have thought it was just a basic message, it really hit me. And here's the message. Rich talked about, and actually I will say this, and I don't think Rich would mind me sharing this. If this came out of a conversation that Rich had with brother Kevin Weldon, but Rich just said that, you know what, I realized that in a lot of ways I was just doing. I was a doer and I wasn't achieving. And let me just tell you, my hand shot up too, because in a lot of ways, not that there's anything wrong with, you know, doing what you need to do, but what is this all about? What are your intentions with Trunited? Here's what it is. You're after results, whether it be as brother Ron talked about, time freedom, financial freedom, legacy building, you know, creating options. I mean, how appropriate that we're hearing from one of our leaders who's just vacationing in Cancun after thinking about it for about a week's time. Isn't that what we all desire? Isn't that what many of us want? That's what we desire.
That worked.
You know, right, Steve? And so what I just want to encourage you with, as Rich encouraged me, is let this be a year of achieving. You know, set these goals, and along the way you can set, you know, incremental goals. But I will say this, and I'm going to end with this. We have a core group of leaders. It's not a big group, but it's a strong, solid group of leaders who we're not just going to be doing. We are going to be achieving, and we're going to be identifying who the other people are that want to achieve their goals. That's what 2020 is. That's what I believe for each and every one of us. We've got a great group here tonight, and just wishing everyone much success. 2020 is going to be a year of significance, a year of breakthrough, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Love you all.
Love you too, brother.
Love you too, brother James. Man, you
Can't
sure
wait
look
to get
sweet
together
today,
with
buddy.
you, K-Dub.
I'm gonna be back to Nashville on Wednesday, James. Me and you
Yeah.
and Lee need to get together.
Leanne and I just talked about the three of us getting together, so it's
Would
gonna
love
happen.
that. I'll be in
Love you
town
guys.
for 6 days. Got some studio time, but I'm gonna absolutely carve out some time for you special people. I can promise you that.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
I'm gonna let somebody else start.
Oh, everybody's bashful tonight. What's going
Oh,
on?
not really, Ron. Not really. Hey, just want to let you guys know I've been kind of quiet the last couple of days, but I've got a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of things I'm working on, and I was telling Ron after the call me. I've got 2 or 3 things that I need your help on because of the industry you came from, and guys, I'm just excited for 2020. I truly believe this will be the breakout year, and I believe everything is just really coming together really well. So, I don't have a lot to say today, a lot to say today like I usually do. Usually can't get me off here, but I've been up since 6 this morning. I'm tired, and but I'm hanging in there, and I've got a lot of Vengo to go, so I'm good. For sure. Pass it over to Leanne. That'd be good. Let's go, Leanne.
Love you, Steve.
Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, Lee, before you go, let me just say that's a record time, Steve Dixon. I'm gonna send you $20.
Okay, that'll work. I'd just send me some Apple Bingo. That'd be better.
Leanne,
Can't hear you.
no?
We
You're
can't.
muted, Lee.
Where's your mic at, Leanne?
Yeah,
You all know sign language, Leanne. Go ahead.
Carlos didn't give me control.
Just hold up the heart sign, Leanne, because that's what you are. Love for
There you
everybody.
go.
Look at that.
There you
That's
go.
love
Amen.
right there. That's love. All right, Francine, while Lee's looking for a microphone, maybe you can share some words of wisdom.
Yeah.
Well, I shared my words of wisdom last week.
You got more words than that, Francine. We know it. Don't you be holding back.
Let's hear some songs. That would be fun. Well, actually, very few days have passed, so it's just the same story. I met up with more people after New Year's, and I took them out in person for lunch and talked about the company, and they're excited. And there's a lot to look forward to. The things that I shared with them, our travel site, along with the products, how we feel about the products, how we all get along as a community, how we're different from the other companies because of how we can relate to each other and work together and help each other to achieve. And that's the difference. I've been with 2 other MLM companies, and in that respect, none of them have been like us. Everybody was out for how they could do, and didn't share information as readily. So that's our strongest point, really, because the more we work as a group and the more we share, the better and stronger we'll be. So that's about it. That's just a little bit longer than Steve's. I'm not known to go on and on. So any questions?
We love you, Francine.
I love you all too.
You know,
Brother Wood.
yeah, that's a good segue. I've been sitting back, kind of taking inventory of current team and where things are at, and I in the past couple, 3-4 days, actually the past week, for whatever reason, maybe it's the new year, I've been pitched an abnormal amount of times the last few days. And, you know, depending on how it's done, I'm always respectful and just kind of curious to see what's out there. And moreover, just to build a bridge, just to know that I'm you know, building relationships with people, seeing what's out there, not just blowing people off. And I'll tell you, you know, there's some pretty cool stuff out there, product wise, service wise. But I'm gonna tell you, every time I get pitched, it always ends up, regardless of the product, the cool new stuff that does the magical thing, and it all still comes back to at some point, and you know it's coming. Here's how much it costs to join. Here's the different packages. Here's how much it costs every month. Here's the testimonials. We got the doctor, we got the staff, we got the clinical this, we got the proprietary this. It's this, I mean, I'm telling you, it's the same thing every single time. And it just made me realize more than ever, you know, even if the products are the bomb and they do the things that people claim that they can do, I'm personally, and I know I can speak probably for everybody on the leadership call, I'm so far past having to beat people in the head and convince them that my stuff is better than the next guy's stuff, that it just brought on a whole new level of appreciation and gratitude for where we're at. Because, you know, in the network marketing space, everybody that joins the goal is to make money. I know, you know, we're supposed to be sharing, and there's all these creative things that people say to tell you that they're not selling anything, but in the end we're selling. You know, there's always something to sell. And you know, the ability for us to bypass that whole uncomfortable package purchase pitch and product claims and all the rest of that stuff, and get right to the relationship building, and then working with individuals to help empower and teach them. You know, it's so refreshing. Just, you know, I'm so grateful to be in a position where we have something that is really based on the stuff that's come. These are brand new. I got pre-launch pitched like 2 days ago, and it was the same. It was still the same thing. It was like, we got the thing. It's great. It doesn't have. Man, it's just, you know, it's coming. Okay, how much? Package, auto ship. Here's the testimonials. Here's the fat dude, or just here's a skinny dude with the fat pants video, and it just, I hope you guys realize, you know, what I'm trying to say is, we're in such a unique position, seeing all these companies, products and services with buy-ins and starter kits. You have to be that person. You have to be a product spokesman, a product evangelist, go find customers, and then you still have to build relationships on top of all that stuff to drive value. Well, what if you could just focus on the relationships, and you didn't have to do none of that stuff, and you didn't have to be the uncomfortable, pushy, pitchy sales dude that says you're out there trying to help people, but you do kind of hope they pick the big kit because you know you make a bigger commission. You know what I mean? So the fact that we don't have to deal with none of that stuff, I hope that you realize we are in such an amazing position right now to just go out there and continue connecting with people, be genuine, be sincere. If you do that, you don't really need a pitch. We've got some creative flows, but if you're just yourself, you're going to attract the people that you need to be working with. So anyways, I'm grateful for you. I try not to take too long because I'm always eager to get Kevin on board for some of the stuff that he shares, because I know regardless of what any of us say, the stuff that Kevin shares is really the fundamental basics of building the business. So Kevin?
Hey, I think Leanne might be back on board. No, I don't hear anything, Leanne.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Awesome.
All right, sing a song, Leanne. Go ahead and sing a song now that we can hear you. Sing us a tune.
Don't put me on the spot like that. I don't know what happened. That was just really weird. So I guess, I don't know. It's asking for some password. Maybe I guessed the right one. I don't know. I don't really have anything to say. I mean, I feel like, you know, it's just we've got a brand new calendar ahead of us. It's blank. just for me, I'm plotting out some really good time, specific time to put toward my business and making that more of a priority this year. And 2020 is, I've been saying this for a while. I'm calling it my year of clarity, and it's so amazing that putting that out there has, I don't know, it's drawing clarity toward me. I'm getting more and more information that just makes me have aha moment after aha moment. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I need to do. I need to be very specific with my time. I need to be very specific with and intentional with every movement. And I'm not just talking about my business. I'm talking about, my relationships and my health and, just my spiritual health and all of that. So I'm excited to have a blank calendar, and it's so freeing to know that time is my tool, not my handcuffs, right? I don't have to be stressed out by time. It's on my side. It's my friend. James and I were having a conversation earlier today, and he said, when we think about it, time is our best friend. That's something that we can use to bring about joy and happiness in our lives. And so that's where I'm going with this. So Kevin, please don't keep us waiting. It's your turn now.
Man, I love you guys. I am so happy to be a part of this group. I'm just very happy. I'm happy. I really am. I mean, 2019 was a massively successful and breakthrough year for me personally in many areas of my life. And 2020 is starting out. It just continues to grow. People talk about quantum leaps in results and in their life, and I've experienced that. And I just want so much for everyone to understand the power of shifting your thinking. It changes everything, and I've talked about this so much, and I'm just hoping and praying that it plants seeds with people. But Einstein was a genius. You guys know that. But did you know that a lot of his colleagues thought he was ignorant? They thought he was dumb. Today he would probably be considered ADD. He did not do well in school. We all have this genius ability within us. We're all created with a perfect spiritual DNA. And whether you're strong in your spirituality, your faith or not, it doesn't change the fact, just because the ostrich buries his head in the sand doesn't mean that there's not something coming after it, when he gets scared. So the facts are the facts, the law is the law, the truth is the truth. And we have this greatness within us. Mike Popovich talked about it so much, that we all have this perfect spiritual DNA, this perfect greatness within us, that we can accomplish anything that we want. The problem is that we don't believe it. And when I say we, I mean the majority. I do believe it. There's a very small percentage of people that will actually go and do what needs to be done. Most people don't even know that there's a possibility to have greatness. They don't even know. They're not even aware. So there's so many things that I would love to share. I can't share everything but I do have a couple of things that I wanted to share. One, of course, I've been reading more in the past year than I've probably read in my whole entire life. And it's very important that we read, because that's where we get a lot of the information. I've been reading a book called The Art of Acting by Stella Adler. Stella Adler was an acting coach. She taught Marlon Brando. She taught many people. This book wasn't written by her. It was written by Howard Kissel. But he basically just took her lessons and compiled them in the book, The Art of Acting by Stella Adler. You can get this on Amazon. There's some things in there that I don't agree with, but there's some very powerful truths in there. And one of them is something that we should all think about. And it's before we start to share, before we start to talk, get a mental image, get a picture in your mind of what you're trying to say, because it's going to come out it's going to come out with a lot more power. And so if you're going to share True United with somebody else, if you will visually see what it is that you're trying to share with somebody else, it's going to come out as so much more believable, so much more powerful. And there's going to be so much more passion and conviction in your voice when you can see what you're sharing. And I would encourage you, don't start talking until you see in your mind what it is that you're about to share. So that's one thing. A couple other things that I've shared with you before, I know I have, but if you don't take control of your thoughts, everybody else and everything else will. You know, we have between 60 and 70,000 thoughts a day. And this is from Dr. Joe Dispenza. There have been other people that have talked about this as well, but 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And did you know that most of those are the same thoughts every day? They're the same thoughts. We get in this habit, this pattern. And again, this all goes back to the paradigm. It goes back to our internal programming. If you don't like the results that you've been getting all the way up until January the 6th, 2020, you know the only way that you're going to change those results is by thinking differently than you thought in the past. See, most people don't understand this. You've got to change the way you think if you want to change the results that you're seeing in your life. You know, Einstein also said the definition of insanity, and we've all heard this. Everybody that's been in network marketing, we've heard this. Every company we've ever been in, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So the thing you need to do different is get into our company. You know, that's what they use that quote for. But if you really think about that, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. Listen, when you do the same things over and over, it's because you're thinking in the same way. You can't do anything differently unless you think differently. He also says that you cannot solve your problems thinking the same way you thought when you created the problem. You can't change your results thinking the same way you were thinking when you created those results. So if you want to change the results that you've been getting, you have got to change your thinking. You've got to reprogram your mind. You've got to upgrade your current mental programming, just like we upgrade our computers, just like we upgrade, you know, the technology. Most people have never upgraded their programming, their internal programming. It's something that's been developed and built in you from the time you were born. And it's something for those of us who are in our 40s or 50s or like Ron Yeager. How old are you now, Ron? 86? You look great, by the way. Just kidding. Actually, I think Ron may be the oldest one here.
Probably.
I haven't looked through but I love you, Ron. I'm just messing with you, bro.
No problem.
What I'm saying is a lot of us, I'm 53 years old. I have built this operating system that has been in me for 53 years. And it was just not until last year that I truly understood how to shift that, how to change that. I get on this path of positive thinking. You know, I get on this path of watching videos on YouTube, but until last year, I didn't have the foundation that I needed to repeat over and over, because it takes repetition. This is something that you've got to understand. You can't go read a book one time and expect to change. You can't practice these habits or these suggestions that we're giving. You can't practice these for a week or 2 weeks and expect miracles to happen. It takes repetition over and over and over. The same truths, put these in your head over and over and over until you can change those habits, until you change that paradigm. Once you replace the old way of thinking with the new way of thinking, and you do it consistently for a period of time, it slowly edges out the old way of thinking, and it replaces it with the new, healthier way of thinking that is going to give you what you want. And it's very important that once you start this journey, you can't work out for 2 weeks and take 6 weeks off and expect to go win Mr. Universe. You know, the same thing with your True United business. When we all got in here, we were gung-ho. Man, we were freaking on fire. And we went and we shared and webinars every day and boom, 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 boom. But I'm going to tell you, if you do not keep up that consistency until you get a solid, rock solid, you know, at least 6 legs, okay? Because 6 to make pace setter, and you don't want to have to babysit those 6 legs. You want to really help those 6 legs get rocking and rolling, you know, because it's not until you get those 6 legs rocking and rolling that you can really afford to maybe take a little bit of a break and go to Cancun like Carlos. You know, I mean, let's rock and roll. Let's get 6 James Katinas. Let's get 6 Steve Dixons. Let's get 6 James Woods and Leanne's. Let's get 6 of those that you don't have to call and remind them to get on their auto ship. Until you get that, do not let off the gas. Do not lose your enthusiasm. Once you get that, you're going to be so excited. Even then, you're not going to want to take off the gas, because then your paycheck's going to be up in the 4-figure range, and you're going to start thinking about, I wonder if I could get it to the 5-figure range. Then everything changes. So what do you want for 2020? Are you happy with the results that you got in 2019? If you're not happy with the results that you got in 2019, the only way those results are going to change in 2020 is by upgrading your thinking, upgrading your internal programming, see clearly what you want, and don't focus on the results from week to week. Don't focus on, look at those for guidance, but don't focus on those. Focus on the process of continuing to share, see in your mind what it is that you're sharing. Keep that excitement, keep that enthusiasm. See yourself as becoming that pace setter 5, 6, 7, whatever it is you want. See yourself as earning that 800, 1,200, 15, 2,000, 5,000, whatever it is you want. See that person, act like that person, because I promise you that person that's making that kind of money is not going and chasing 15 other things. You know, they're excited about what they got their hands on. So I could go on and on. You guys know I can, but I just want to finish with one thing. Ask yourself, and you've got to be honest. It was really hard for me to have an honest conversation. Are you happy with the results that you got in the past year? Did you see 50%, 80, 100% increase in over 2018? Because if you didn't, you can see that kind of an increase in 2020. You can see 50%, 80%, 100%, 200%, 500%. You can turn your annual income into your monthly income. We have the ability to do that. Would you like that to happen? Change the way you're thinking. Get on that journey of seeking wisdom, just like it talks about in Proverbs. Seek wisdom above anything else. Go seek wisdom like you'd go seek, that winning lottery ticket, or that gold mine, or those precious diamonds out there at the Crater of Diamonds in Arkansas. People go spend, anyway. Seek wisdom, and in all of your getting, get understanding, because when you fully and truly understand how God has created you, what you truly have locked up inside you, when you understand your power, you're going to wake up every day excited with a blank slate, and you can create the very life that you want. The health that you want, you can get off those prescription meds. You can have the body of a 20-year-old. I know, because I've done it. I'm in the best shape, best health, best finances, happy, love of my life. All the things that were so very important to me, I saw that happen in 2019. And it's all because I finally realized where it's at. It's all locked up right in here. And I learned how to tap into that. And if you will do that, everything will change. And we have an amazing company right here to do that. There is not another company in the history of this industry like TrueNited that can offer what we offer. I just feel bad for the people that are so closed-minded that they won't stop and listen. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to simply share what we have. Share what we have. All right, guys, I love you. I'm excited about 2020. We're going to see big things happen this year. And I can't wait to see the changes that I know I'm going to see in a lot of you guys, because the seeds have been planted and your imagination. Okay, one more thing. I learned this today. Your feelings, and this is important. Your feelings is the soil that your ideas are planted in. Think about that. If you feel bad, your seeds aren't going to grow. You got to feel good. You've got to be happy. And that happiness is within inside of you. If you're letting outside circumstances dictate whether you're going to be happy or not, you're going to struggle. You have everything you need inside already. Your feelings are the soil that these seeds are going to grow in. And if you want those seeds to grow, you've got to feel good. You got to love yourself, and you got to feel good. Let's help people feel good.
Absolutely, Kevin. That's awesome, buddy. Hey,
Thank
guys.
you, Jacob.
Thank you, man. I've got two things I want to just very quickly put out. One of the biggest things we fight in this business, or challenges that we come up against, let's put it this way, is complacency. People are very comfortable, full employment. Realtors are making money hand over fist. Investors, their 401k, the stock market was up 30% last year. People are happy, let's put it this way, on the financial side. That's going to change. Okay. You are in a time frame when I believe during this next 12 months, we're going to see radical changes hitting this economy. We have a vehicle that is the answer. And I've talked about this many times in the past about hashtag the answer. We'll get through this year fine because we've never had a down year in an election year. It's never happened in our history. Not to say we can't, but 2021 is going to be a different animal, I believe. So I am urgently talking to people because one of my big keys to my success in the Amway business is I started building my business in 1999 when the economy was doing the exact same thing. It was going straight up. The high-tech world, we were on a Saturn V rocket booster in the stock market. We were valuations we'd never seen before. And I knew what was coming. And because I listened to some pretty smart guys and gals, and the Amway business was the solution for me to get prepared for a different world, different environment. This next downturn is going to make that look like a walk in the park, I believe. I think it's going to be longer than anybody has ever seen before. And I believe we have the tool to get people prepared to not have to even notice that anybody is going through anything, if you will. Okay? Building a vehicle that is based on products and services people have to use and consume every single day, regardless of what the economy is doing, and that's laid on a platform of a business that is debt-free, that is privately held, doesn't need or want the stock market, is exactly what people need as a solution. So as we're talking to people and they're saying, hey, I'm doing really well, I don't know anything. Really, I said, how well did you do in that? If you don't mind my asking, did you go through 06, 7, and 8, and that wasn't a big deal, or 1999, 2000? Because I know a lot of people that really created a lot of problems for them. That's if you want to use something like that, because I'm always intrigued by, wow, how did you do so well during those time frames that you weren't affected? Tell me more about that. How did you do so well? So I really would like to engage somebody in that direction. Is this a conversation that I'm going to have with every person? No, but it is a conversation you're going to want to have with more successful people, because it's a really, really good way and powerful way to take that conversation to another level, in my opinion. Okay. So we have the answer long-term. And then I just want to share one thing that rocked my world Saturday night at Mike's church service. I don't know if you heard the testimonials that he talked about, but he talked about several, but the one at the end, oh man. I hope y'all got your chin straps buckled. So this couple has been, wanting to get themselves in better shape and just been praying for a place, better place to live and things like this. And Mike said, well, you need to be, more intentional in terms of what you're asking. And he said, well, we don't even want to, we'd like, 35 acres, and we'd like this beautiful home, and we'd, but we don't want to qualify. We don't want to have to come up with a big down payment, because those were issues. We just want to be able to make that happen. And so, and Mike just kept going over with him and said, well, then pray that way. So they did. And they prayed, wouldn't it be wonderful if these things happened? We had 35 acres with a beautiful view of the mountains, and we could put whatever house we wanted on there, and we didn't have to come up with any money at all. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And they just kept going in that direction mentally. Well, they didn't get 35 acres. They got 38. And any house that they want to build on that property, they've got carte blanche to build. Out of the blue, from either a family member or a friend. I don't, it got kind of muddled as Mike was explaining kind of the details of that. But that's just mind blowing, guys. Now, if God can do that, could he help you build your Trinity business to a 5-figure, 6-figure, whatever figure income with the freedom to go with it? Doesn't this seem a lot easier than what I just described? I mean, wow. I think the more we meditate on that, and as Kevin was talking about, change your thinking. This couple would get up in the morning and they would talk in that direction before their head hit the pillow, the same thing. So this supercomputer that's sitting between your ears can meditate and stew on that, and creativity is now going out into the universe and bringing those people into our businesses that we are excited to have in business with us. So guys, we have an amazing, amazing year ahead of us. Things are going to get interesting, but I believe we're going to have this phenomenal umbrella, if you will, around Trunited that's going to make us an amazing multi-billion-dollar corporation as we come out the other side. And I just can't wait to see what that trip in Mexico is going to look like when we're all down there this next year.
That's awesome, Ron. Hey, and if I could just throw in one more thing, Ron, I would encourage you guys, and Ron, I know you have a slightly different take because you've seen this, the industry and the economy, things like that. But I want everybody to be very careful not to get caught up in all of the news and the doom and gloom. Please don't get caught up in that. We can truly create our own economy.
Yes.
Only focus on what you want. Don't get caught up. Guys, I don't even watch the news anymore. And I would encourage all of you, quit watching the news. Do you know how many people start off their day watching the news? And you know what's in the news? Negativity after negativity after negativity. And it's planting negative energies into you, and you're going through your day with these negativities. Stop watching the news. Who cares? It doesn't pertain to your life. Oh, but it's Donald Trump. Forget that. What do you want for your life? See and focus only on what you want, and don't listen and don't entertain those thoughts, because when you entertain those thoughts, you start having worry, you start having fear, and that is going to completely take you away from what you want. And you're going to attract those types of energies in. So just let everybody else worry about that. That's their business. This is your life. What do you want? Stay focused on what you want. Stay focused on the positive, creative energy, because that's who we are. We're creative beings. We are created in God's image. Jesus came to give us life and give it more abundantly. And for those that may not believe that, that's okay. But the truth is the truth. We have been given everything that we need. We have to tap into that. We got to let the other stuff go. Don't focus on it. Don't even let those thoughts seep into your brain. Only focus on what you want. I encourage you to block out the negatives. Don't even get in it. And watch your friends. And if you got friends that are always trying to engage you in a Donald Trump conversation, just remove them from your Facebook. 4 days goes by and you forget all about how ugly they were to you, and you don't have to look at those kind of comments anymore.
Right.
So, just say.
No, that's absolutely perfect. All right, everybody. Well, have a fantastic rest of your week, and love you all.
Awesome.
Love you all.
Love you guys.
Let's go do this, y'all.
Awesome.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
2020,
Go
the
create
year of everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Abundance.
Everything and more.
Yes.
Everything we want. Our hearts are. Let's go to bed. Let's go to bed happy, and let's wake up happy. Let's make that be our mantra. Our for 2020. I
Yes.
want to go to bed happy, and I want to wake up happy. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes,
Amen.
indeed. Love you all so much.
Love you guys. James, I'll see
You too.
you and
Good night.
Lee this week sometime.
For sure. Ron, thank
Awesome,
you. brother.
guys.
Love you all.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks, everybody.
Guys.
Thanks, Ron. Bye, guys.
Night.